Hello, and welcome to Anatomy with John and Scully. Today we'll be talking about the supinator muscle, going over origin, insertion, action, innervation, and blood supply. Thank you for joining. Alrighty, so supinator. Starting with the origin. So it's going to originate on the lateral epicondyle of the humerus. It's also going to originate on the supinator crest of the ulna. It's going to insert on the proximal third of the radius, posteriorly, laterally, as well as anteriorly. It's going to receive its innervation from the radial nerve, the deep branch. That's going to come from nerve roots C5 to T1. So let's count down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exiting above, C5 nerve root, C6, C6 nerve root, C7, exiting above, C7 nerve root. Exiting below the C7 spinal segment is a C8 nerve root, and then T1 exiting below is a T1 nerve root. It's going to come down the brachial plexus and form part of the posterior cord. Okay? So posterior cord's coming down, represented by my middle finger here. Coming off my middle finger, we'll get a terminal branch of the radial nerve. The radial nerve is going to come down and then dive posteriorly, just lateral to the long head of the triceps and just inferior to the teres major muscle. This is going to come down, wrap down the radial groove, pop back out anteriorly, come to the cubital fossa, and here we're going to get a small branch given off medially. It's going to be the deep branch of the radial nerve, which is going to supply the supinator. Okay? Moving on to blood supply, starting with the subclavian artery. The lateral border of the first rib, it'll turn into the axillary artery. Then from there, axillary artery is going to travel down. Once we get to the inferior margin of teres major, it'll turn into the brachial artery. The brachial artery is going to have the profunda brachii come off, and that's going to travel with the radial nerve down the radial groove. It's going to give off a branch called the radial collateral artery. This is coming down, and it's going to attach to the radial recurrent artery, which is coming through here. The radial recurrent artery will supply blood supply to the supinator. So starting back up at the brachial artery up here, so if we follow the main branch of the brachial artery, it's going to come down through here. And then just in the cubital fossa, it's going to bifurcate into the ulnar artery and the radial artery. Let's follow the ulnar artery. We'll get a branch called the common interosseous artery, and we're going to follow the posterior interosseous artery that goes posterior to the interosseous membrane to supply the supinator in through here, just behind. So it's the radial recurrent artery and the posterior interosseous artery that supply blood supply. It helps us to supinate the forearm, as the name infers. So there you have it. Origin, insertion, action, innervation, and blood supply of the supinator muscle. As always, do not forget to eat your leafy greens, and thank you for joining. Take care, folks.